Hello friends, how's you? I hope all are fine and healthy. Welcome to Affairs Cloud Learn to Lead. This is Ashu and today we will discuss very important current affair of 21st and 22nd of February 2021. You can see two best images of the day, but today we will discuss 14 to 15 very important and the most important current affair. So watch video till last, but I am requesting you all the students that you have to like this video, you have to subscribe our channel, and you have to share as maximum as possible. But before proceeding, I just want to discuss about Affairs Cloud subscription, that you can buy our Affairs Cloud. It means current affairs subscription at very minimal cost. But how you can buy this? You have to download our application. What is the name of application, sir? Name of application is Careers Cloud. Remember, the name of application is Careers Cloud, not the Affairs Cloud. After downloading this application, and how you can download this, you have to download from the description box link. It means we put a link, downloading link of this application in the description box. You can download very easily, or you can directly search in the Google Play Store. This is very easy. Name is Careers Cloud. And we are providing 1 year subscription as well as 2 year subscription, and both the subscription has very much low price. You have to download this application. When you see the price, you will definitely surprised to see the price. And guys, what we are providing under this subscription, we are providing daily wise PDF. In the daily wise PDF section, we are providing two type of PDFs. One is related to the theoretical and detailed current affairs of particular day. Second, we are providing question and answer format of current affairs of particular day, so that you can revise the current affair very easily. Next is the weekly PDF section. It is very important to revise the current affair on weekly basis, so that you can predict that how much more current affair you have to require. Next is the weekly test. It is very important because you can evaluate your performance, that how much current affair you are required to revise more. Next is the monthly PDF section, and it is the most important section. Why? Because we are providing various type of the PDFs under this section. Like, first is the study PDF. It means all the detailed and the theoretical current affair of particular month will be provided under this PDF. Next is the question and answer PDF. It means all the theoretical current affairs converted in the form of question and answer will be provided to you, so that you can revise the current affairs in the format of the question and answer. Next is the pocket PDF. Very important, as the name suggests, it is very important to revise the current affair very quickly. Next is banking, finance and economy PDF. As the name suggests, it is very important for those aspirants who are preparing for banking exam. And last is the top 100. It means the best 100 current affairs will be provided to you in the form of question and answer, so that you can revise again and again. So guys, these things we are providing every month, like daily current affairs, weekly PDF, weekly test, and the monthly PDF section. So according to this section, we are basically generating a confidence within you, so that you can revise and retain the current affairs for long time period. And these current affairs are provided at very minimal cost, and on that minimal cost we are providing 10% extra discount. How you can get this 10% extra discount? If you use this code ASH10, then you will get definitely 10% extra discount on that minimal cost, either you are purchasing 1 year or 2 year. So let's start today's current affair, that is the 21st and 22nd of February. But I am again requesting you, all the students, that you have to like this video, you have to share as maximum as possible, and you have to subscribe our channel. So let's start with the first section, that is the most important question section, and here is our first question. So first question is, guys, which country assumed the presidency of BRICS for 2021? Most important question. We already discussed this question so many times. Now we are talking about the BRICS organization and the presidency of BRICS organization in year 2021. Question is very simple. In 2020, the presidency lies with the Russia. But now 2020 is over and we are in 2021, and answer of this question is very simple. It is only our lovely country, that is India. So mark under the most important section, because India assumed the presidency of BRICS for year of 2021, and examiner can also ask about 2020 presidency. You have to remember, in 2020 Russia was the presidentship and in the BRICS for 2020. You can also see here, External Affairs Minister S. Jaishankar launched India's website for 5 nation grouping, that is known as BRICS: Brazil, Russia, India, China and South Africa. South Africa latterly joined this group. You can also see here, External Affairs Minister S. Jaishankar launched a website specially dedicated for the 2021 summit, that is known as BRICS2020.gov.in. And India assumed the presidentship of 2021 and Russia was the president of the 2020. And BRICS celebrates its 5th anniversary under the theme. So you have to remember the name of the theme. The name of the theme is Intra-BRICS Cooperation. Remember the theme, Intra-BRICS Cooperation. And what about BRICS? You have to remember BRICS comprises 41% world population, because the largest populous countries like India and China are members of the BRICS group. If the total combined area is 29.3%, it means it covers 29.3% of the total land surface area of world. That is huge. And it accounts 24% of the global GDP and 16% of the world trade. So guys, BRICS organization, by these figures, you can assume that this organization is so much important. And remember one thing more, that BRIC was established in 2009, and in 2010, South Africa also want to join that BRICS group, but South Africa joined in 2010 and he attended the meeting in 2011. So now we are moving to next question. Arrow 4 anti-ballistic missile will be a part of which country defense system? Most important question, because in recent discussions we discussed about Arrow 3 and Arrow 2 missiles, and these were also anti-ballistic missiles, but we are talking about Arrow 4 and it belongs to the same country from which Arrow 2 and Arrow 3 belongs. It means Arrow 4 missile shield will be the advanced version of the existing Arrow 2 and Arrow 3 interceptors, and this system or this ballistic missile system is prepared with the help of the United States of America, and this belongs to Israel, guys. So remember the country Israel. You can also see here Israel developing new Arrow 4 ballistic missile shield with the help of the United States of America. It means Israel Missile Defense Organization and United States Missile Defense Agency have commenced work on the development of Arrow 4 anti-ballistic missiles, which will be part of Israel multi-layered ballistic missile shield. You can also see here Israel US commenced works to develop Arrow 4 air defense system missile. And Arrow 4 is basically the advanced version of the existing Arrow 2 and Arrow 3 interceptors. And who is basically the main contractor of this Arrow 4? Israel Aerospace Industries. And Israel is one of the 4 countries to have successfully developed an anti-ballistic missile system indigenously after the United States of America, Russia, and also the India. Because India also has BrahMos missile, that is also a ballistic missile. And USA, Russia, and India already basically developed these indigenously missiles, and Israel is now the 4th country. And remember about Israel. Israel Prime Minister is Benjamin Netanyahu, and capital is Jerusalem, currency is Israeli shekel. So remember these 3 things, these are most important things. And remember about Arrow 4. Now we are moving to next question. Amit Shah released a book titled Rashtra Pratham or Nations First 82 वर्षों की स्वर्णिम गाथा, or the nation's first, the golden story of 82 years. It is the history of which organization? So this is the most important question because it is released by our Home Minister, that is Amit Shah, and this is related to the 82nd anniversary of this organization. And answer of this question, again very simple, you can pause this video and match answer with me. Answer of this question is CRPF. You can also see here the book is the history of Central Reserve Police Force since its raising in 1939. It means this organization was established in 1939, and the book was compiled by the historian Dr. Bhuvan Kumar Jha of Delhi University. But who compiled this book, this is not so much important. Just remember about Central Reserve Police Force. It was established in 1939, and a new book is released with the memory of Central Reserve Police Force, the courage, the bravery of the Central Reserve Police Force. The book is aimed to inspire the newly inducted personnel of CRPF so that they can read this book and they can know more about the CRPF. And guys, remember one most important thing under this question, that first time CRPF Veterans Day 2021 was celebrated on the 19th of February. But every year it will not be celebrated on the 19th of February because it will be celebrated on the third Friday of the February, and it will be known as the CRPF Veterans Day. So in 2021, it falls on the 19th of February. That's why it was celebrated on 19th of February. You have to remember because it was celebrated first time. And guys, remember Director General of CRPF is Dr. A.P. Maheshwari, an IPS officer. Remember this, Dr. A.P. Maheshwari. Now we are moving to next question. United Nations World Day of the Social Justice. So most important day, World Day of the Social Justice is annually observed across the globe on which day? So there are two things under this question are very important. One is the United Nations organization, and the organization which is very important under the United Nations who is celebrating this day, World Day of Social Justice, that is ILO, International Labour Organization. International Labour Organization basically established after the World War I, and it was established in 1919 as a part of Treaty of Versailles. And who is the Director General? Director General is Guy Ryder, and headquarter of ILO is in Geneva, Switzerland. And this day is celebrated by ILO and the United Nations is on 20th of February. So you have to remember when it was celebrated, 20th of February. You can also see here 20th February 2021, World Day of the Social Justice. And what was the theme of this day? A call for social justice in the digital economy. And why this day is celebrated? It is just to promote and ensure social justice in the latter and spirit in the world where the social inequality persists. So remember why this day is celebrated. And the day recognizes that social development can be ensured in the absence of the social justice. So you have to remember the theme of this day, a call for social justice in the digital economy, especially the post-COVID-19 world. So the main objective to tackle issues like poverty, exclusion, social exclusion, gender equality, unemployment, human rights, and the social protection. The basic rights of the worker who have shifted to the digital platform and whose lives were affected by the back of the digital infrastructure, because there is not so much very well developed in digital infrastructure, but we are moving to the digital employment or the digital section. So that's why there is a lack of digital infrastructure. So we want this under the social justice so that anyone or no one can be discriminated by the lack of the digital infrastructure. So main organization is ILO. I already covered that it was established in 1919 after the World War I. And where is the headquarters? Geneva, Switzerland. And who is the Director General? Guy Ryder. Now we are moving to next question. WeHub, very important question. Even we are covering under the most important question. We already covered these questions so many times. So WeHub, Women Entrepreneurship Hub, India's first and only state-led incubator, belongs to which state government? So this hub is promoting the women entrepreneurship, especially the startups related to the women's. And this WeHub belongs to which state government? This belongs to the Telangana. So remember, belongs to Telangana. You can see here, WeHub ties up with the Jammu and Kashmir Institute to incubate startups. It means both the states like Telangana and Jammu Kashmir will work together for the entrepreneurship or especially the women entrepreneurship. You can also see here, WeHub, India's first and only state-led incubator of the government of Telangana. So that's why this question is the most important, because it is the only state-led incubator of the government of Telangana for women entrepreneurship and especially the empowerment of women. And they are tying up with the Jammu Kashmir Entrepreneurship Development Institute, so that in Jammu Kashmir they also develop the women entrepreneurship mentorship, and virtually signed a memorandum of understanding to boost the entrepreneurship and the startup ecosystem in the Telangana as well as in the Jammu and Kashmir, because this organization is already working in the Telangana because it is a state-led institution, but they are now working with the Jammu and Kashmir government so that both the states can develop the women entrepreneurship at very good level. So what is the main aim? It main aim to provide a platform for budding entrepreneurs from Telangana and especially the Jammu and Kashmir. And the partnership will promote the women entrepreneurship, especially because it is, you can say, led by the WeHub program. And under the MOU, the organization will start a pre-incubation program for 60 aspiring entrepreneurs, and especially 30 each from two states. It means 30 from the Telangana and 30 from the Jammu and Kashmir. And they are providing every type of assistance to these 60 aspiring entrepreneurs. And Telangana is very important state, guys. Who is the governor of Telangana? Tamilsai Soundararajan. Even very important because recently Puducherry governor removed, that is Kiran Bediji removed. So Tamilsai Soundararajan gives the additional charge of the Puducherry. You have to remember this. And who is the Telangana chief minister? Again, very simple. Answer is K. Chandrasekhar Rao. But sometimes students confuse with the Y.S. Reddy of Andhra Pradesh. So let's move to the next question. And all the most important questions are now covered. We are moving to very important questions. Here is our first question. Nitin Gadkari ji launched which campaign to give a boost to electric mobility and use of electric appliances across country? So question is very simple. It is started by our Union Minister of Road, Transport and Highways. So the main aim of this campaign is Go Electric, is to spread awareness at pan-India level on the benefits of e-mobility and electric vehicle charging infrastructure as well as the electric cooking in India. So I already covered the answer, and answer of this question is Go Electric campaign. You can see here, this is known as the Go Electric campaign, and it is specially for the purpose of the electric vehicles, e-mobility, electric vehicle charging and electric cooking in India. It is also focusing on the electric cooking. You can see here, electric cooking is there, electric vehicle charging infrastructure is there, and e-mobility, it means electric vehicle should be there. And recently you have to remember this, Ministry of Road, Transport and Highways and DRDO have signed a memorandum of understanding to boost collaboration in the field of technical exchange so that the better roads can be covered, better accessibility related to the roads can be provided, and electric vehicle mobility can be increased. So this is DRDO. And remember, where is the headquarter of DRDO? Headquarter is in New Delhi, and who is currently the chairman? The head of this DRDO is G. Satish Reddy. Remember this. Moving to next question. Which company signed MOU with Directorate General Resettlement to provide work opportunity to ex-servicemen personnel of the armed forces? It means this company is basically hiring the ex-servicemen personnel of the armed forces. So the main purpose is to create alternative career opportunities for ex-servicemen personnel who have served the country. So this is a very unique MOU, or you can say this is a very unique type of the thing which is started by this company, and this company name is Amazon. It means I am talking about Jeff Bezos. You can see here the Amazon.in MOU with the Directorate General Resettlement hiring ex-servicemen. And you can also see here, this is a target of Amazon till 2025, that this is the line with the global vision of Amazon to hire 25,000 military veterans by 2025. And main purpose is to create alternative career opportunities for the ex-servicemen personnel who have served the country. So very proud of thing. So already Amazon employed many military veterans in the leadership and managerial roles in the operational work because they are very disciplined. So that's why they are recruiting these type of the military personnel, especially in the Army, Air Force and the Navy. Now we are moving to next question. Council of Scientific and Industrial Research and which organization signed a MOU for supporting development, conduct and promotion of health research in India? So especially in the post COVID-19, it is very important to focus on the health research in India, and it is CSIR, and second organization is Bill Melinda Gates Foundation. Remember, Bill and Melinda Gates Foundation, and where is the headquarter of this organization? Headquarter is in Washington, USA, and it is a NGO type organization, non-governmental organization. And remember, Bill and Melinda Gates Foundation will provide some credit facility, and Council of Scientific and Industrial Research work on the research and development on the health research in India, especially in India, because India's health research is very much poor and health facilities are also very much poor due to COVID-19. You can say it is a exposure for India to develop new type of the techniques. You can see here, Bill and Melinda Gates Foundation signs MOU in the area of conduct and promotion of the health research. You can also see here, the focus of the agreement will be on developing and testing new preventions, therapies and interventions for solving major health concerns which affect India and even the other developing countries, because the most developed countries have money access and they have also the credit facilities, but India and the other developing countries and the underdeveloped countries don't have any access of the credit facility, so they need these type of the health research, especially in India. Both entities will work towards identifying possible areas of collaboration in the scientific and the technical fields. So you can take one more very good example, like they can work on the genetic diseases that impact infant and neonatal mortality. They have to focus on the new diagnostics and devices for infectious diseases and the environmental surveillance. So these type of the techniques should be developed in India, especially other developing countries also. And guys, remember, Bill and Melinda Gates Foundation headquarters is in Washington, USA. And who is the co-chairman? Especially Bill Gates and his wife Melinda Gates. Now we are moving to next question. Which international organization in India hold 11th macroeconomic dialogue virtually? So it is very simple question. The most important thing under this question is this international organization. Where is the headquarter of this international organization? How many countries are member? And who is currently the chairman or the president of this organization? And this macroeconomic dialogue means they are focusing on the trade and they are strengthening the bilateral relation between the organization and the India. And answer of this question is European Union. You can also see here 11th India and European Union macroeconomic dialogue held virtually, and European Union headquarters is in Brussels. Remember, in Brussels. And guys, remember how many countries are member after exit of the United Kingdom or Britain? You can say total member countries are 27. You can see here total member countries are 27 after the exit of the Britain, and European Parliament President is David Maria Sassoli, and headquarters in Brussels, Belgium. And it will strengthen the bilateral relation between the India and the EU, and especially it will also boost the bilateral trade between the two organizations. They also focused on the fiscal policy response, medium-term fiscal strategy, including the financial and structure reforms priority. It means they will also focus on the reforms in both the organizations like India and the European Union. India and European Union shared the steps they had to taken to revive the economy due to the impact of COVID-19. So it is very necessary that India is tying up with the international organization so that they can recover from the COVID-19, especially the economical effect of the COVID-19. Now we are moving to next question. 47th Khajuraho Dance Festival organized in which state? Again, very simple question. If you know about the Khajuraho temples, that it was established by the Chandela dynasty, one of the untouchable dynasty, and it was established in Madhya Pradesh. So it means very simple. Khajuraho Dance Festival is also organized by which state? Madhya Pradesh. Very important state. You know the Chief Minister of Madhya Pradesh, Shivraj Chauhan, who is the governor of this state. Anandiben Patel, additional charge because Lalji Tandon ji recently died. That's why she has additional charge of the Madhya Pradesh. She is currently also the governor of Uttar Pradesh. And there is a Panna Biosphere Reserve in Madhya Pradesh. There is a Kanha Tiger Reserve, very important tiger reserve. One of the largest national park, Bandhavgarh National Park is also there. And guys, remember, Panchmadi Biosphere Reserve is also in the Madhya Pradesh. Shivpuri National Park is also in Madhya Pradesh. You have to remember this. So these are the very important national park. And if you comparing area-wise forest area of India, then it is the Madhya Pradesh, who has the highest forest area in India. You can see here, world famous Khajuraho Dance Festival in Madhya Pradesh. The 47th Khajuraho Dance Festival at Khajuraho, a United Nation. It is a UNESCO heritage site in Madhya Pradesh. And Khajuraho Dance Festival was started in 1975 to promote heritage, to preserve this heritage, and especially to encourage the tourism. And the temples at Khajuraho were constructed during the Chandela dynasty. So you have to remember who built these temples like Chandela dynasty between the 950 to 1050 AD. It means between the 100 years they constructed these type of the temples, and Chandela dynasty is one of the untouchable dynasties. So remember this. And these figures or these temples are basically related to the Shiva, Parvati and the Vishnu. Now we are moving to next question. SBI Payment Service Private Limited launched which application to expand the digitalization of merchant payments in India? Especially it is for the merchants or the businessmen. And the name of the application, you can pause this video and match answer with me. Answer of this question is YONO Merchant. And what is the full form of YONO? You only need one. You can also see here, SBI Payments launched YONO Merchant app to boost digital payments infra in India. You can also see here, through this app, merchants can turn their near-field communication-enabled Android smartphones into the payment acceptance devices. It means they can do the transactions from their Android smartphone. So it is very easy for every businessman, especially the micro small businessmen. It is a brand extension of the State Bank of India's YONO platform. And recently, SBI also partnered with the Visa on the tap to phone feature to boost acceptance infrastructure across India. And it is very, very important for the regional Karyana store, regional small stores, and they can use their mobile phone as a payment medium. And guys, remember, what about SBI Payment Service? It is the most important thing under this question. Who is the chairman? Swaminathan Jankirman. Because recently the former chairman become the one of the MD of SBI. That's why the currently chairman was changed, Swaminathan Jankirman. And MD and CEO is Mr. Giri Kumar M. Nair. But MD and CEO is not so much important. Chairman is most important. Moving to next question. Which state signed a MOU with IKEA? IKEA is a Sweden furniture and home appliances company. It is the largest Swedish furniture and home appliance company, which is set to invest rupees 5,500 crore in state during the next 5 years. So it is very important. They are investing in India, but they are investing maximum in this state. And the name of this state is Uttar Pradesh. Remember, Uttar Pradesh, again, very famous state. Yogi Adityanath is the chief minister, and we know the governor Anandiben Patel because we already discussed in the Madhya Pradesh state. And remember, very important national park is Dudhwa National Park. Very important. You can see here, UP, Uttar Pradesh signs MOU with the IKEA for rupees 5,500 crore investment shopping mall, and these shopping malls will be named as IKEA. And you can see here, the government of Uttar Pradesh has allocated almost 47,833 square meter of land in Noida for IKEA outlet. And guys, it will be the one of the largest IKEA outlets in the world. At present, the largest IKEA outlet in the Stockholm, Sweden, which is almost about 55,000 square meter, and it is almost about 47,000 square meters. And IKEA will pay 850 crores for the purchase of this land, which will generate a revenue of almost 56 crore rupees. And the outlet will be commence its operation by the year of 2025. And IKEA also plans to open 3 major outlets in the Uttar Pradesh, especially in the Purvanchal area and the central Uttar Pradesh, and one is the Noida. So these are the basic information about the IKEA, and it is a Sweden-based company. And this company is basically related to the furniture and the home appliances. So this is the main thing. Now we are moving to next question. Which state started Center for Perishable Cargo at Lokpriya Gopinath Bardoloi International Airport? If you know this international airport, where this international airport is located, then answer is very simple. Lokpriya Gopinath Bardoloi International Airport is in Assam, and it is specially the center for perishable cargo. It means to move the goods, like especially the perishable goods, from one place to another. You can use this type of the facility at this international airport. And the center for excellence, so especially for the perishable cargo items, is started by the Sarabnanda Sonovalji. It means I am talking about which state? I am talking about Assam. You can see here, Sarabnanda Sonovalji launched scheme to boost transportation sector and inaugurates Center for Perishable Cargo at the Lokpriya International Airport. And it is towards the Atmanirbhar Assam, because the state trade of goods and services will be increased by these type of the facility. You can see here, he also flagged off an export cargo consignment of 600 kg of vegetables on the occasion of this inauguration, because we are talking about the perishable items like vegetables, fruits, and any item which includes under the perishable category. The CM launched the urbanization scheme. It is basically related to the transport scheme. As a part of the scheme, the beneficiary can purchase buses and enter into the transport sector with loan from the bank, in which the state government will be sponsored of the 25% of subsidy. It means the 25% of cost will be paid by the state government, and very important thing started by the state government to improve the transport infrastructure in the state. And recently, Sarabnanda Sonoval launched an online pension submission and tracking system, Kritagyata. We already covered this question, that they launched a platform for the pensioners, like this is known as the Kritagyata. And guys, remember who is the governor of Assam? Professor Jagdish Mukhi. And recently, 6th National Park was added in the Assam state, that is Raimona National Park. And remember, Kaziranga National Park, Manas Biosphere Reserve, there is a Dibru-Saikova Biosphere Reserve, that is all in the Assam state. So you have to remember. Now we are moving to important question section, and there is only one question in the important section. Cricketer Dhamika Prasad announces retirement from international cricket, and he belongs to which country? And I am telling you, he was the one of the very good fast bowler of this country. And guys, answer of this question is very simple. That's why we are covering under the important section, and it is not so much important. That's why we are again covering under the important section. And answer of this question, our neighborhood country, Sri Lanka. So remember, Dhamika Prasad announces retirement. You have to just remember the name of the person, and remember the game, and remember the country. So these three things are important. So you can see the picture of Sri Lanka fast bowler Dhamika Prasad retired from the international cricket. So let's move to the one-liner important points. Here is the first question. Ethiopia Deputy Prime Minister Demeke Mekonnen 4-day visit to India. So he is the Deputy Prime Minister, so it is not so much important, but country is important, that is Ethiopia. And Ethiopia comes under the Africa continent, and this country is situated in the East Africa side. Capital is Addis Ababa, and currency is Ethiopian birr. Remember, currency is Ethiopian birr. And why Deputy Prime Minister visited India? Because he signed 2 memorandum of understanding with the India, like mutual visa exemptions for the holders of diplomatic passports, and MOU between the CSIRs, Council of Scientific and Industrial Research, Central Leather Research Institute India, and Wollo University Ethiopia, WOLLO, that is the Wollo University of Ethiopia, for especially the research of the leather sector. So next point is, Prime Minister inaugurates and lays foundation stone of key projects of the power and urban sector in Kerala. So it is the state specific news, especially for the Kerala. You don't have to remember. But you can remember two or three things like he laid the foundation stone of the integrated command and control center and smart road projects in the Trivendrapuram. He also inaugurated the Kasargod solar power project and water treatment plant in the Kerala. So remember these two or three things, just read this. Otherwise it is not so much important. Next, India and Australia facilitated winners of circular economy hackathon. So main thing under this point is important, this circular economy. Circular economy is a systematic approach to economic development designed to benefit the businesses, society and the environment, especially between the two countries like India and Australia. Now next question is RBI puts up 1000 withdrawal rupees 1000 withdrawal cap on the Deccan Urban Cooperative Bank Limited for the next 6 months. But most important thing under this question, this cooperative bank like Deccan Urban Cooperative Bank belongs to which state? It belongs to Karnataka. Next, Indian Coast Guard C453 interceptor boat commissioned at Chennai. Not so much important. You can leave this question because recently so many interceptors basically commissioned in Indian Navy and the Indian Coast Guard. So not important. Next is Israel and US commence works to develop Arrow 4. We already covered this point. Now we are moving to the question of the day, and especially first we are giving the answer of the 20th Feb 2021 question. And what was the question? Which monument is known as the National Monument of India? Very simple question. It was asked in the CGL 2016 and answer of this question is India Gate. Remember, India Gate. Now we are moving to the question of the day. Question of the day is which place is said to be the Manchester of the South India, especially if we are comparing the business purposes of the states and specifically the state areas. Like you can say the areas of the specific state, and you have to tell me which area or which place is known as the Manchester of the South India. It was also asked in the CGL 2016. Now you have to answer only in the comment box because I will evaluate your all the answers. So you can see here, you have to provide us 700 plus likes because this is our motivation. You can provide us motivation by providing 700 plus likes regularly, and you have to subscribe this channel if you are new on this channel. You have to press the bell button so that you can receive the notification on time, because so many students are complaining that we are not receiving the notification of your video. So you have to press this bell button 2 times so that you can receive the notification of every video. Next, it is a Affairs Cloud promise that it will boost your confidence in general awareness section. Especially, it is my personal promise that if you are watching the videos regularly and if you are reading the current affairs from the PDF, your current affairs section will definitely go boost. And guys, remember 90 to 95% current affairs which are coming in your exams are covered by Affairs Cloud. This is the genuinity of Affairs Cloud and this is the hard work of Affairs Cloud team. And guys, I am again saying, don't take life so much serious. Life is fun, life is beautiful. Always enjoy life. And I am praying that this year you will achieve your target. Thank you guys. Take care and enjoy every moment. Thank you guys again. Take care. Bye bye.